Have you ever wondered how the multiplayer list works in FarmSim 25? Well, let's check it out. All right, so everybody's seen this. Whenever you log into FarmSim, you go to multiplayer and you look at the list of servers. There's a bunch of servers with what looks like spaces in the front of them. Well, I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, the way they sort these is by the Lua's alpha character, whatever, and the space character puts it at the top, right? And then the more spaces you have, the further up the top that it puts you. But you only have, I think, 32 characters that you can work with. Well, I'm going to show you how to do all that and kind of go into a little bit of a deep dive. So, if you go to our lovely Farm Sim Game website and you scroll all the way to the bottom, click on Getting Started, and then you go to Dedicated Servers, which by the time you see this video, there might be a lot more buttons here, but just look for the Dedicated Servers button under the FS25 tab. Oh, by the way, this is a new docs system that we're working on for you guys, and we're going to have tons of information added here. Okay, so we'll click our Dedicated Server. Now, you are more than welcome to read through this. I really took some time. I think I've spent 4 hours on this so far. It's not even done yet. And there's just a ton of information on exactly what everything does and the details and just a lot going on here, right? And you can click on the different things to kind of jump to it. So if you want to know about the port, what that does, uh, anything like that. So you can just click it and it'll take you to it. And it goes into detail what everything is, like your economic difficulty. Well, here's everything that's involved with that. So when you change it to hard, this is everything that's going to change, right? So I didn't even know, honestly, that it affected the silage compaction level. So if it's set to hard, the compaction level is going to be difficult, which is pretty neat, I guess, right? Wasn't expecting that. But anyway, so yeah, there's a I really went into detail with all this stuff and there's just tons of information here. Well, one of the things that I kind of went over was the server game name and how that works and how the game actually organizes it um in that multiplayer view doohickey, this thing right here. How the game actually sorts us. Now, the reason why this one's at the top because that's a local server that I host. So it's going to show your local servers first. That way you can easily find them. But other than that, the servers that are not self-hosted by you on your network will show up in order by the characters or whatever. Which it used to be just the exclamation point, but we figured out how to add the spaces, right? So let's check that out. The server game name is sorted by these ASCII uh, characters. So you get your space, and then you got your exclamation point, quote, so on and so forth. And it's in the order from top here on down, right? So that's how you can kind of bump your list up, which used to be that was the popular one, the exclamation point. What else is space? Anyway, so a lot of server owners have figured out a way to bump their servers on up. And to do that, you actually just have to add this little space attribute, which will, the XML and the Lua reads this as a space where it kind of adds that space without the character. So it replaces that with this actual space in the server browser. And for example, right here, we've got 4. So to do that, if you're not self-hosting, you will need FTP access, which you can use like FileZilla or whatever. You can Google that one. It's a FTP client, and then your host will have an FTP setup. So if they don't, you need to contact them and get them set up or change hosts. We use Fragment, and they have a very useful FTP setup. And it's actually pretty secure with FS25, so that's cool. But moving on here. How do we do it? Okay, so there's a few things that we need to make sure we're doing here. Um, it Once you're connected to the FTP, you will edit the dedicated servers file, which is in the profile folder. I'll list the file path here, but it's my games. If you're hosting it, my games, Farming Simulator 25 dedicated server, and then dedicated server config.xml. If you're connecting to the FTP, you should be able to just go to dedicated server or server profile, dedicated server. I'm not sure how they might have it set up different. But anyway, look for dedicated server and then dedicated server config. Okay. Now we'll open our server here. I'm gonna go ahead and log in. Now this one's just one of my test servers, so all this is kind of defaulted so I can show you guys. Um, Obviously, I'm not going to run a server with admin password as the admin password, right? Anyway, okay, so we start the server, okay? And right now there's no space, and you don't see a space here. And then if we go into the game, which it takes a moment, sometimes you'll have to exit out and go back in, and it'll refresh it. Okay, so no space there, right? See how the public farm sim has got space there? All right, so here we are back at the server. So no space, we're good to go. Now, if I stop the server and I can space it here, or I can put that character in and then I start the server, it erases those spaces. The website itself will escape those and remove them. So we've got to do it the back end way so that we can kind of bypass that. But when we do it, we do not want to stop the server and then start it, because if we do, then when we start the server again, it's going to remove it and we'll have to do this process all over again. So you always, when you do this, you want to do the restart, not the stop and start, restart. Okay. So every time you stop it and start it, you will have to redo this. So use the restart. Got it? I think I got it. Did you get it? I don't know. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and go back here. And then actually we need the characters here. So we can copy this character. A little copy button there. It's pretty handy. And then we'll go back to our XML here. And we'll just drop, let's drop 4 of them in there. Okay, we'll save this. And then if we go back to the dedicated server here and hit, well, you can refresh it. So you added it there. But you still have to restart the server for that to take effect. So we restart the server. Okay. And now if we come in here, we'll go ahead and rejoin. And I can't tell if that has the spaces yet. It may not have updated right away. Doesn't look like it's working yet. Let's go back to the website here. Let's see, do we still have spaces here? We do. Maybe it's just I've got more spaces on the other one, so it's not as obvious. So let's go ahead and add some more spaces, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll add a bunch of spaces. I want to make it obvious, right? Okay. And then we'll just restart the server again. Now, something to keep in mind is if you restart the server while it's saving, it may corrupt your save game. So if you've got your save game autosave set up to often, you might want to check to see when it's about to save, which you can kind of, do the math on that yourself. So if you got it set to 15 minutes, if it saved 15 minutes ago, it's about to save, right? Anyway, random thought. Okay. My server name is now spaced over. So that's how you do it. It's quite simple. So yeah, that's how the server browser works, and that's how these guys work their way up the top of the list and kind of stand out from the others. And yeah, so I don't know. But yeah, so if you go to our website here, thefarmsimgame.com, go to our docs, which I might add the link up here or something. We'll see how popular it gets. But I'm going to be adding a ton of data or information related to the Farm Sim Game bot, the Farm Sim Game website, and just all of our systems. And I'm also going to be working on a lot of documentation for Farming Simulator 25. I've got developer console, which has a video and it's got all the commands and all that good stuff and the information about them. So it lists all the commands. I might go in and kind of clean that up in time, but yeah, I'm going to be adding a ton of stuff like this. I'm still working on the dedicated server portion of it. Um, and by the time you watch this video, it might be done. I don't know. I'm always working to update this. And if you guys have any ideas or want to add to it, join our Discord and let us know what you'd like to see on here. Because I designed it so that I can easily add this information for you guys to be able to view and enjoy. So, yeah, appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you around. Thanks. Have a good day.